the weather was fantastic on Saturday, and a great way just to kind of get the athletes' feet wet, and kind of get into the season.
Yeah, it was just nice. It was a good recruiting weekend as well, and we had some recruits up from Southern California and other states, so that was good for that. But nice icebreaker for our student athletes, and couldn't ask for a better day. And we had some really good performances as well. So in 2 weeks we'll have the Humboldt invite, and Chico's going to come over the hill. San Francisco State distance team is going to come up, both men's and women's, and then Sonoma State's females now have a kind of a full track and field program. They're bringing it back, so they have some throwers and some distance runners and some other events that will be covered. So we're excited for them as well to come up. So it should be pretty good weekend in a couple of weeks.
During the regular season, one home meet, and how important was it to kind of get your athletes out there, even new athletes, kind of, I know you guys practice on the track, but just kind of, competitive wise, and to get that experience, heading into a couple weeks when you guys will be back here.
Yeah, it's a perfect setting for it. It's it just gets them prepared. What's even better is that our next meet will be a home meet against other schools. So it's kind of a step up process, especially for the freshmen who are first year, and they're just going to have kind of gain some experience here in steps. But it's just a good way to kind of break the ice for them, get the first college track meet underneath their belt. And they've been working hard all winter, all fall, and for 6+ months. And so it was just a perfect day to have that green and gold, and we couldn't be prouder. The coaches did a great job too. They did a lot of the work, just getting everything prepared, and hats off to them.
How great is it, Reed gets to bring over his athletes over from College of the Redwoods, where they're also getting, experience competing?
Yeah, it's good to have the local schools and local community there. Definitely with Reed Elmore's program at College of the Redwoods, it's kind of one big happy track family, and it's good for the sport, it's good for the community, and that's what it's all about. So it was good to get their athletes a good kind of a first race under their belt as well, and just working together to kind of make everybody faster.
Were there any athletes that you really liked what they did, and to get something to be really excited about as the season gets going?
Yeah, I'm real excited. Both teams are very well balanced this season, and but some of the highlights are upperclassmen. You have Fred Rosser. He's a 2-time conference champion of the 400-meter hurdles. He looked phenomenal on Saturday, and it's just a simple community meet, and so his times and some of the off distances that we did were great. On the women's side, Corey Gilly, who was second in the conference championship last year in the steeplechase, but was the conference champion in cross country last season in 2014, she looked phenomenal as well. So, and Kate Earl in the 100 hurdles looked great, and she's in good shape. She's going to do the first heptathlon this season for herself at Chico next week, and she's another highlight they have to keep an eye on too. But there's all these little, just these little pluses that are adding up, and they're our leaders of our team, and I think they produced very well on Saturday. It just kind of gives you a preview of what's to come, and hopefully get most of these student athletes to conference and score some good points, as well as potentially up to the national championships. Fred Rosser's been there before. Corey Gill was awfully close last season in the steeplechase, but I could tell you the way the workouts are going and the way they performed at green and gold is a good indication that if they stay healthy, they shouldn't have a problem qualifying again and getting to nationals and represent Humboldt State University.
You have 45 male athletes, 45 female athletes. Are there cuts, or is it just difficult to kind of get these athletes, in the events, knowing there's just, so many athletes?
Yeah, there is a lot, and we can only travel between 40 to 50 of them collectively. So what we'll do is we make it it's very objective. We have travel times. In order to make the traveling team, you have to hit certain marks in these respective events. So they know going into it what they need to do in order to qualify for that team. And it is difficult. You will have some natural attrition with people who are just redshirting, or they might be injured. So even though coming into March, we will traveling every single weekend, March through May. You don't always compete every weekend, so you might have a squad that goes, let's say, opens at Kim Deist and Turlock on March the 7th, but you'll have a different set of individuals going to Chico Invite the following weekend. So it's going to be a mixed match, and then we all kind of set ourselves up for some of the larger meets that we have at Stanford, Mount Sac weekend in Los Angeles. So it'll play itself out, and a lot of these young athletes will get a chance to compete. And but there are some criteria. We just don't take everybody. We got to make sure that they're in shape and they're competitive. And if they're, if we see glances of that, then we're going to take them to give them some ideas or give them some opportunities so they can become better athletes throughout the season and throughout the career here. But I guess on that too, Manny, as far as looking at that whole situation, it's even though we have this delineation of the marks, we also look at how often are they coming to practice and how's their grades. And they're going to study hall when they need to go to study hall. So we straight out tell them if they're not, making their grades, then we're not going to travel them. And we're being pretty strict on that. And it's just they got to take care of business on both sides. So academics and athletics, and that's kind of our criteria. If there's kind of on the fence and they haven't been going and they don't got good grades, or they haven't got the grades that we expect them to have, then we'll sit them that weekend so they can study a little bit more, hopefully, and then we take them the weekend after or whenever they can show us that they're dedicated to being a student athlete. So I don't want to get on the coach's soapbox here, but that's the emphasis of our program. It's just how we run. That's how we kind of run things.